Thank you so much, President. Welcome everybody. Tonight, we are Tuesday, the 19th of October. C'est le 19 octobre. Bienvenue à cette réunion. Donc, ce soir, nous avons dans notre Rotary Club 9920. We have our guest speaker. We are very honored. So, Dacian Coita, past president of the Rotary Club of Oradea, Romania. So, welcome, Dacian. Thank you so much for coming. I open the meeting.
Thank you, Raffaella. Again, welcome to Dacian Coita from Romania, Rotarian, for accepting our invitation and being our guest speaker tonight. In honor of your presence, we start the meeting by listening to the official national hymn of Romania. Again, welcome, Dacian.
Touching your presentation and warm welcome from the club. Thank you, Emilio. Thank you all. I decided for a topic totally different than my job and totally different than my regular business work. Feeling a passion about people, societies, communities, I started to learn and to study more about old civilizations, prehistorian civilizations, as a trying exercise to understand more about myself, about my family, my community, and in the end, about our communities, friends. Because surprisingly, I discovered so many things we have in common and so many links between ourselves, you know. And people were interested in general about history since very much time ago. And in 19th century in Romania, there were some works for developing roads, and a number of workers taking out stone from a stone quarry discovered very special ceramic and traces of some burned places and houses in that stone quarry. And they informed the specialists in museum science in the region, and they were so astonished discovering something they did not see before. And in time, with modern laboratory techniques, they dated that findings coming 5,000 years ago before Christ. Well, it was very, very surprising that continuing to dig and to build the road, they found more of these artifacts and old signs in all the region. And having a cooperation with researchers in other European countries, they realized they were just about to discover a really special civilization that was living in this area of Romania, then spreading to Moldavia and Ukraine. And they called this civilization Cucuteni Tripolie, or Tripolia, being a city in Ukraine where the same type of artifacts, old ceramics, old and burned houses were discovered deep in the ground. Finally, the European specialists acknowledged that the Cucuten civilization, we will call it Cucuten because this we can refer it easier to this concept, was considered one of the most attractive and amazing civilization from European prehistory, existing in the same time with great civilizations of the Orient, Egypt, Mesopotamia. The dates they considered for the living civilization was 5,000 years before Christ up to 3,500 years before Christ. This is a period of about 1,500 years. There is an area they discovered the same type of artifacts of about 350,000 square kilometers. And if you may, I can try a share screen. A share screen to show you the maps. Okay, just a moment. We have here, can you see it?
Yes,
yes. Okay. We can see Cucuten Tripilian culture, Romania, Moldavia, Ukraine. And furthermore, they discovered very special ceramics and very special habits that made this civilization really different than others they discovered. And I will tell you a little bit more details, and then we'll share some pictures. They developed a kind of museum in the years 1885, 1890. Since then, almost 130 years of research confirmed that most of the artifacts were coming from ceramics, a special ceramic with very, very unusual signs and design gave the specific of this civilization. And there were also other conclusions the researchers considered. These guys were burning their houses once when the parents were passing away. This was something really unusual. Their houses were made up of from wood and dirt, soil, and when the family was passing away, they were burning that house totally. 90% out of the 3,000 houses they were founding in a burned, very strong, close to vitrification. So the soil was getting close to the glass. such a strong fire they developed there. And they were finding layer on the layer. So that means that the burning were happening more times on the same house. This habit we could not understand today, and apparently this led to a massive deforestation, because the fire was made out of wood, of course. They were also discovering that the housing was extremely well organized, even with floor, a first floor and second floor. In some floody areas, they were built on pillars, on wooden pillars, which is absolutely extraordinary for those times. And we may consider that people living in those times were wild and barbarous and didn't know about things. They were finding traces of cereals, of grains, like wheat and other cereals. However, no corn and no rice, because corn and rice in that time were not specific to Europe. So finally, they discovered, based on the bones they found inside, these guys were hunting, were fishing, and they were taking care of artifacts, producing all kind of small things for the house. They were also cultivating vineyards, and they were drinking wine. Almost all the places were built on higher mountains in a round form, close to rivers and to waters. Apparently, they found cities where the number of houses were going up to 20,000 houses. They considered that some cities could have reached the size of 20,000 houses, out of which the archaeological researches went of 3,000 houses. So 3,000 communities, 3,000 communities, and because they were spread in all these areas in the three countries. And some of the cities, as I mentioned, were really impressive even for these times. They were disappearing. 3,500 years ago, no more signs of this civilization. And by saying signs, I'm referring to discoveries that were found in the soil, following some excavations, some works, some buildings, some roads, you know. It's inexplicable. We cannot explain why they did disappear. We cannot explain why did they gave fire to the houses they were living in. One of the hypotheses was that they diluted because the exercise of destroying everything all the time once a family was dying ruined their resources. And they lost the wood and the forest resources. They lost the strength of their communities. They were simply diluting and disappearing. What is specific and surprising, they were not found cemeteries. They were not found places where these guys were buried. However, in some houses, in the ground, under the floor, they were finding old bones. So that led to the conclusion of the specialists that these guys might have buried the parents, the old grandfathers, the grandmothers. They were burying it in the house, and they were giving fire, and they were burning the house with the passed away family members being burned there. Personally, I found it spectacular and very touching, because this is giving the conclusion of a different mindset, of a different view on the world, on the realities. And I would like now to share with you some pictures, because without a visual understanding, it's not that easy to learn what we are talking about. So I will share the screen now. And please look here how these guys were looking. Very difficult to imagine a real appearance. However, the specialists tried to copy the sizes of the ceramic figurines and the design on the ceramic figurines. And we'll have something even more special. Look here. This is can you see this picture? I'm not sure if you can see it. Same I do. These are kind of design of how their houses were looking like. You may see very simple, everything like hay, the roof made of hay, wooden, some pillars, they are on the ground if the flooding is coming, you know, everything together and very open. Another picture we can see here, this is a much more advanced. You can see very strong wood, higher location, you know, large building. Some of the buildings they discovered up to 600 square meters, which is incredible even today. And they were doing that in those times, 600 square meters building. So look here, this is an example of a real ceramic pots they put together, the researchers, following the discoveries in, of course, pieces of ceramics they put together, and this is the type of ceramic pots they found. I have more examples. Just look here to understand the complexity of their arts feeling and technique and the craftsmen of those guys. Look here again. This would be really special in our times too, hanging it on a terrace. Next one. Look here, this is a museum. Look at the signs, all kinds of signs, circles, forms, spirals. This is considered amazing. These are figurines found in reality, and this is a copy of a fashion presentation in New York. Very special also, this type of design. And what I want to share with you, it's something that I found unique. These are the type of ceramic pots.
Dacian, if you are changing pictures, we are not seeing the other pictures. We are freezed on the one, on the first one you showed. Are you showing other pictures?
Yes.
Because it doesn't, it's freezed on the first one where you have the...
Okay, let me try again, please. So share screen. Let me, did you see this one?
No, now yes.
So these are the figurines of a female shape. You see, with the original design in the figurines, it was copied on a model, on a fashion presentation model. So I will stop share and open a new one. And this is original. This is original. You could see the signs and the design and the forms. Okay, and I will share something I found very special. So these are the signs we can see on different type of pots. And what I find amazing, I'm not sure if it is true or not, okay, I took it as granted. You may see the recognition of these signs in different cultures. Swastik is very old sign, is not belonging to Nazis. It was a very long time ago when people were using the sign. And apparently, we found the swastik in Ceylon, in China in a different form, in Japan in that form, in Islamic sign, Aztec sign, you see, in Greek sign, in Jewish culture. So please look at these signs that you may find very similar all together, which leads me my personal feeling and my personal vision that we have a lot of common things one with each other. I won't talk too much. I may say that I found a little movie very explanatory about Cucuteni culture. It's in English. It takes 6 minutes. And please let me know if you would be happy to see it. I will try to share if possible.
Why not, Dacian, please?
It's 6 minutes out of your time, and I think this explains better than I did about this type of findings. So let me please share again.
Dacian, maybe you can comment on the video.
Yes, the video is closed. We finished with it. One of the main spectacular things discovered here, my friends, is the role and the importance of the women in the societies, in all societies. And apparently the women were the basics, the core of the beliefs and of the care that it was happening within the communities. The old grandmas were taking care of the children. The wife was taking care of the day-to-day food and warm atmosphere within the house, while the husbands, the men, were out for hunting, bringing food, and sometimes sacrificing themselves in fights. And here we may see a kind of feminist and core role of the women in the old and prehistoric societies that preserved the pattern, the style of the society. Almost 90% of the artifacts of the ceramics I have to close this. Oh boy. Is the feminine figurines. So the feminine figurines is playing a central role within all the society. This we cannot find later in the Middle Age or in the modern era of years 1700s or 1800s. We cannot find the role of the women such strong as in prehistorical civilization. This way, I will close my presentation. Sorry for the phone call. And I'm very happy that I could share with you. If you have more questions that you think I can answer, I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dacian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear friends. So we close this meeting. Thank you for coming. You're all welcome. So see you not next Tuesday, but the next after. So
Okay.
now this is the time for the bell.
Good evening to all. Arrivederci.